Hello and welcome to That's a Wrap. My name is Anthony Gentry. I'll be your host for this evening, and joining me, as always,
It is Austin Jameson.
hello.
Today we have a special episode. This is technically not part of our regular
It's
scheduled
like
programming.
an in between.
I'd call it a bridge between our season 1 and 2 that we're calling it.
Yeah.
Today we will be doing 3 top 10 lists.
Yes.
We're going to be doing top 10 best films. You
Top
can do
10 worst
and then top 10 anticipated.
of 2022.
Yes. We have our lists already made. I can't imagine this episode will run too long. Well, from
It
what I've heard,
shouldn't.
yours probably will.
Oh, I'm okay. So I have, for my best list, I have 23 movies.
It's called a top 10
for my
list, and
worst
then you,
list, I have 16 movies. And for my anticipated list, I have 20. But I'm only going to name the top 10. And then maybe later I will post the whole list on like our Instagram.
I mean, you can
That's
still
Wrap
go
NCR.
through it, but I feel like as long as we feature the top 10.
Oh
I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like
No, I'm only going to go through the
We'll
top
talk
10.
about 'em all.
I'll have
Good.
like honorable mentions, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
We should have time for that. But is there anything we want to talk about? This should be a short little, just fun episode.
Yeah, there's nothing really that came out. I mean,
Mhm.
there's the new Boba Fett show. We were talking about that before.
True.
I didn't watch much of it. You
Yeah,
didn't watch.
I've watched the first episode.
Yeah,
I've
I
not
watched the first
the
episode,
second.
just not the second. The
Um,
first episode was all right, honestly.
it lower than my expectations.
It was just like a recap. and-
It was a recap, but it felt weird. Like
Yeah.
it felt like they're trying to Disneyify Boba Fett
Yeah.
and like make him this comedic
I mean, I like the concept of, for one, Boba Fett and it's Fennec Shang.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Shan, I think. I don't
Shan,
know.
yeah. Well, him and Fennec.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure out what they're doing because they're not used to it.
Right.
So, like, learning as they go.
Mhm.
And also wanting to rule with respect.
Right. I mean,
But
like,
then the way they deal with it is
yeah,
a little off.
I feel like I love Boba Fett. I always like the idea of Boba Fett, but at the same time, we've never really had, besides spoilers for Mandalorian season 2, like an idea of what he was like in combat for realsies
Yeah.
until recently. Like,
And, like, in Mandalorian, it felt like John Wick.
yeah,
In this
like,
one, it felt like a almost 60-year-old Tamura Morrison trying to fight.
right.
To be fair, we haven't seen the second episode. I watched about 15 minutes of it. It is better so
Mhm.
far.
I just don't like the comedic route they're going with it.
Yeah,
Like
I was kind of disappointed by that.
it's not fair to say that my idea of Boba Fett is like this kind of this cold, quiet like killer, when we don't really have an idea of him besides Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, where he immediately gets killed. Well, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Or immediately gets just sliced his jetpack. And I don't know. It's a disappointing so far for me.
Yeah, but-
Hopefully it gets better.
Yeah, I do think it will. What I saw of the second episode was better.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, 6 more episodes to go?
I'm
it's like a
also just-
7-episode season.
I imagine the second episode might do this, but I'm curious about the direction that it's going.
Yeah.
Because, like, cool, Boba Fett and Fennec exist in this universe, but why? I mean, that's cool. I liked when he
Mhm.
worked with the Mandalorian, but we don't need to see this. I know Fennec was in Bad Batch, and that was cool.
I mean, yeah, for me,
Um,
I'm like, we don't really need to see it, but I'm
Yeah.
excited to see it anyway.
Yeah, I
'Cause, like,
I
it's
just want to
that's-
see more John Wick Boba Fett scenes.
Yeah. That's how I am for, like, every kind of Star Wars project
Hmm.
past, I guess, like, the prequels, like, those, like, original movies.
Yeah.
Because now I'm just like, hey, it's more Star Wars.
Right.
I'm fine with it as long as it's entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
It's more Star Wars. But, yeah,
Anyway,
so far, disappointing. But without further ado,
let's go ahead and get started. Do you want
Yeah.
to start with the top 10 best or your top 10 worst?
let's start off on a good note.
On a good
okay.
note? Okay.
Yes. So we didn't really discuss this beforehand.
Not at all.
Do you want to go, like, one by one, us, like, go back and forth, or us each one to give our list?
I think it should be 10-10, like 9-9, 8-8,
Okay.
and we keep going back and forth.
Okay. Would you like to go first?
I would love to go for it first.
Okay.
Sorry, I started
do you
thinking
wanna
about
do,
my
honorable mentions?
honorable mentions. I'll do before first. I think.
Okay.
I think that's like the Watch Mojo style.
That
It's like
is, yeah.
right before the end.
I think I'll give mine first, but you knew how you like.
Okay. Well, you have 12 honorable mentions. So.
I'm not gonna give all of them.
My number 10 spot for best films of 2021 is Clifford. I wanted to put it higher because I thought it'd be really funny.
And this is the last episode of That's a Wrap. Thank you.
But genuinely, this doesn't deserve this spot. But I needed something to fill it. And there's other movies.
It's not the last episode.
I could have put like a lot of other movies that aren't higher than this in this spot. But I feel like with the beats that I've hit in our previous episodes, Clifford deserved a spot in the amount of enjoyment that I've gotten out of this year.
It has a spot on one of my lists.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure there's a few movies in here that we're going to swap. But Clifford sits comfortably in number 10.
Okay.
You're number 10?
Well,
and your honorable mentions.
Yeah, honorable mentions. I'll give 3.
Oh, okay.
So
how generous.
One of them is Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings. I really enjoyed that movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was in my top 10 for the longest time, and then I watched a lot of the movies since our last podcast to this to get ready, and they all just moved it out.
Mm-hmm.
Cruella, which I feel is an underrated gem, and you cannot prove me wrong.
I've not seen it, but there's no absolute way you can make a movie about a lady who kills dogs and like skins them and make it good and make me care for it.
I thought it was really entertaining.
I'm sure you did. You hate dogs.
I don't hate dogs. Let's get that clear.
Mm-hmm.
I have a fear of them.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and then...
Yeah, sorry for the slander. That wasn't intentional.
And then Dune.
Dune didn't make top 10. That's
no, it was really hard for me to not put in my top 10. It was really high on my list, and then I just kept thinking about other movies, and they just kept putting it down and further down.
You like Cruella more than Dune?
I'm really sorry. I never said that. It was just one
higher
of my
on
honorable mentions.
Okay.
They're all honorable mentions.
So they're not like ranked even then?
No.
Why are you smiling?
I'm not. Okay, so number 10.
Did you? Okay. All right.
Last Night in Soho.
10?
Yes.
Okay.
This movie is so good. It is amazing. I've watched it since then, and it has kind of lowered my feelings on it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I still feel like it's engaging. It's so creative. Edgar Wright can do no wrong. I don't know about his personal life, but as far as movies, he can do no wrong.
Okay, I see what you mean.
But yeah, I really liked this movie. My biggest problem with it is that it wasn't as scary, I guess, as I hoped it'd be, because it is kind of marketed as a horror movie. But I don't really fault it that much for that. But anyway, yeah, that was my number 10.
All right. Moving on to the number 9 slots. In 9, I have Shang-Chi. I thought of the Marvel movies this year, we have Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and Spider-Man.
And Eternals.
Oh. Guess which one's not on my list. Also,
one of the only ones we reviewed.
Shush. Well, we basically reviewed all of them in the amount of 10-minute interludes we've done. But anyway, Shang-Chi, I feel like stood out to me personally. I thought it was a really good action film. And though it had like the tiniest hint of just that like MCU dust on top of it, I felt like it was a good standalone movie where I didn't have to hear Tony Stark's name for like
it was nice
5 seconds. And that's why it lands in my number 9 spot.
Yeah, Shang-Chi was really good. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite MCU movies already. Yeah. I love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
So for my number 9, I have the Netflix film Don't Look Up.
Okay.
It is directed by Adam McKay, who, if you don't know, he did Step Brothers, Talladega Nights.
Gotcha.
Recently he did Vice, The Big Short.
Mm-hmm.
And it is basically, it has an all-star cast, but it's about, kind of centers around Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence, who play these 2 astronomers, and they discover a comet hurtling towards Earth.
Cool.
And they're like, we have 6 months before this just destroys the entire human race, every species on Earth. We have to tell people, get awareness, so we can find a way to stop it.
Is this the one with Timothy Chalamet?
Yes.
Okay.
He's in it for like 5 minutes. But
Leonardo
he's
DiCaprio
so good
is like full dad now.
But they're trying to spread awareness, and everyone is saying, "That's bad vibes, man. Let's not do that." And it's kind of a metaphor for like climate change.
Mm-hmm.
And it is so good. I laughed so much watching this.
Awesome.
I thought it was really good and engaging. Timothy Chalamet has one of my favorite lines
I can't.
in the movie. I
I
can't really
won't
say it right
much
here
about Timothée
because we
Chalamet.
are trying to not be
Mhm.
explicit.
Right.
But it's about
Oh, okay.
potato fingerlings.
All right.
And if you've seen it, you know what it is. But
Okay.
I really love this movie. I thought it was really good all around.
Mhm.
So that's
All
my
right.
number 10 or 9.
Number 9. Now moving on to number 8. My 8 is also a Netflix special. It's Bo
Ooh.
Burnham's Inside, which I felt like
Oh.
really encapsulated my everybody's vibes, while at the same time being
I
like,
forgot about this movie. I was gonna ask you if we were gonna count it.
I would.
Oh,
Well, I
man.
have.
Yeah.
You can throw it on an honorable mention. You have enough of those.
It's another honorable mention.
But I felt like it just it was a really good standout film that caught a lot of people's attention over God knows how many quarantines by now.
Oh, yeah.
One of them, and it was just a really good song. Or all the songs were really good, and I still listen to them and know all the words. And
They're
I know
so good.
so many people do.
And
it
just seeing
yeah.
him throughout like his year,
right,
and
and if
seeing
like
it's like just devolve into chaos. And,
exactly, there's so much care and like love went into making it.
Yeah.
And you can tell. Bo Burnham, if you've been a fan of him for a long time, you know he puts like that much work and care into like creating such a spectacle where like even with his stage shows, he won't release his songs on like any like streaming platform because he believes fully that they are enjoyed best visually along with them, and he's very particular about that, which I respect immensely.
Yeah, I am glad they released the songs for this though.
Yes, I am too.
But yeah, man, I am so mad at myself. I forgot about this.
That's right. Just throw it around.
Yeah, it's an honorable mention.
25.
But yeah, that was such a good special. It really captured the feeling. Of quarantine last year.
Mhm.
But anyway, so we are on number 8. So my number 8, it kind of came out of nowhere for me, and that is the Nicolas Cage movie Pig. Have you seen it?
I thought you were gonna say Willy's Wonderland.
No, I also watched. I did a double feature of Pig and Willy's Wonderland.
Ooh, does he talk in Pig?
He does.
That's a shame.
This is kind of a metaphor for grief.
Okay.
And I thought it was going to be like Nick Cage becomes John Wick, because the beginning of it, he's this truffle farmer or hunter, and he has this truffle pig that helps him find the truffles. And then one night, these people break into his house, or I guess cabin shack, and steal the pig. And so he has to go out of his like seclusion in the wilderness and go back into the city of Portland, Oregon, and find the pig.
Cool.
And I thought it was gonna be like John Wick.
Yeah.
But it is not. It is just like this really thoughtful character piece, because he had this past life in Oregon, and now he's like he has to confront it. I'm not gonna really say what it is.
Okay.
But it involves he used to be like a chef, and he left for a very certain reason, and it's him just having to confront that reason, and it is so just beautiful, honestly. And I don't want to say too much, but it is such a good movie. Everyone should go check it out.
Absolutely.
It's on Hulu.
Is it free on Hulu?
Yes.
Word. I might watch that. Gotta love Nick Cage.
Oh yeah.
Like, I am so excited to talk about another thing. Not on maybe on this list. You don't know. I'm not telling.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
I'm not telling. All right. What we're on 7 now?
Yes.
My 7 was In the Heights, a movie that Anthony here
No. We
didn't
talked about
finish.
this. Yes.
He walked out of the theater
Because the people I was with didn't want to finish it. I would have finished it. I'm willing to give it another shot, though.
You should.
Yeah.
The music, another wonderful work of Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah. In the Heights.
Stop, please. Oh my God. I hope this episode goes by quicker. Hopefully we don't have too many Lin-Manuel Miranda works on here. Spoiler alert, there probably will be.
Oh. Yeah.
But In the Heights, I really liked it. I really liked the original musical, and I feel like I would have liked it more if I'd gone in not knowing the original musical, because there's a lot of things they changed that I personally don't think were for the better or were necessary at all.
I do like going into movies blind.
Especially with like something where it's just a complete recreation on a film, and you already know the story. Granted, I forgot a few plot points, but I can't devolve those here. It was a really good spectacle and a really just good musical. It was fun and upbeat and very, very good.
It is very upbeat. I'll give it that.
Yeah,
I do really.
What'd you think of the ending?
I don't know. Actually, I can tell you about the post-credit scene.
Oh my god!
With Lin and his Piragua.
I can't believe you just said that. Go on.
Okay.
Do your number 7.
Okay, my number 7.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that I finished maybe about half an hour ago.
Oh my god!
And it is called Coda.
Okay.
This movie, CODA stands for Child of Deaf Adults. And so it centers around this girl named Ruby, who is the only hearing person in her family. Like, her whole family's deaf, and they're like these fishermen, and she has to help with the family business because she's the only one who can interpret for them. But she also has this dream of becoming a singer, and ironically enough, singing in a deaf family.
Mm-hmm.
But I really liked this movie. They have the whole family dynamic. It's so like funny and charming, especially the lead performance. I'm not sure what her name is just because I just watched it. But yeah, this movie has a lot of heart and humor, and I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Right before I came over, I was like finishing it up, and I'm like, where am I gonna put this?
Right.
And yeah, I really liked it. It's landing at number 7 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone should check it out. That's on Apple TV Plus.
Nice.
Not a lot of people have that.
Yeah.
But yeah, go check that out.
All right. Excuse me. My number 6, to move on, is Encanto, also by Lin-Manuel Miranda. I just really enjoyed this movie, and it's one that like grows with time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't particularly think it was gonna grow on me. I didn't think I liked it. I didn't think it was super good Disney movie level, and I still don't. It's right on the edge of being Moana level, I think.
Okay.
But it's the music has in Lin's style clawed his self into my brain.
I really want to hear
on
the
and he can't
demo
let
tapes.
go. I really don't. That would I truly honestly don't.
But
a couple podcasts ago, Anthony made me listen to the Shiny from Moana take with Lin-Manuel Miranda.
It was bad.
It's bad doesn't describe it. But yes, it was interesting.
Shiny.
Why do you do this? This is going to be on the internet for
it will forever.
Ever. Yeah, forever.
Yeah.
But now that we've established that, it was a really good film. It's a really good film about family. And after it has its flaws in terms of missing beats and missing character moments, but still being able to. I know there's been a lot of TikToks going around talking about the roles of the different family members because everybody knows about it.
Especially with it being on Disney Plus now.
Exactly. So if you have Disney Plus, give it a watch. It's like 2 hours long and really good. My mini honorable mention: please watch Far From a Tree, the short that comes before it. That'll warm you up.
It will, yeah. I will say, when we reviewed it, we both weren't that high on it.
Yeah.
For me, my opinion, I guess, has gone up a little bit. The music has grown on me, especially with it being all on TikTok.
Yeah.
It's just hearing it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I still have, big problems with the movie, especially with the pacing of it.
Fair enough.
And the ending, especially with the one character.
Yeah.
But, overall, I thought it was good. It didn't make my list.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a good Disney movie.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah. So number 6. Oh, do you hear that? It sounds like a tick, tick, boom.
I want to actually blow up.
Tick, tick, boom. This
Surprised
movie
get 6.
is so amazingly good, and you cannot deny. Well, I guess you can deny it.
I'm going to deny it.
I didn't say anything about Clifford, okay?
I know. I'm surprised. That was bait.
It was bait.
But, okay.
But
No, keep talking about how this movie's actually... Talk about it.
this is Andrew Garfield's year with
It
this
is.
and The
I agree
Eyes
with
of
that.
Tammy Faye.
Mhm.
He has so many good performances, and his performance in this movie is just out of the park, especially knowing that he is not a singer, and he sings amazingly in this movie.
He's pretty good.
And I have had a lot of these songs on repeat a lot, especially 3090. I really like Therapy. Swimming is growing on me.
I'll give you I'll give you like a little bit of leverage. Is that yesterday, twice I gave in and I listened to Therapy, only
Yeah.
twice. The song Therapy is good.
It is.
The function of it in the scene that it
See,
is
I
in
disagree
is
with
so
that. No,
incredibly terrible.
I disagree with that.
It's
I think
such
it
a bad
functions
beat.
perfectly with
both
it.
both of the elements that they incorporate are great alone. If they had played Therapy after or before, I don't care what they would have done with it. The
I think
song's
it
good.
perfectly
but
just
fusing it,
encapsulates that.
I don't think it
Just like
perfectly
kind of
encapsulated it
manic
at all.
energy of a fight and
It didn't feel manic at all. It felt like an interrupt. It felt like slamming my head into a brick wall every
Oh, it
time they
felt-
cut into the song.
the song Therapy was manic, and then the fight actually just kept escalating and escalating. It felt so manic, especially from John's point of view of him just kind of freaking out and saying, "Please, let's not talk about this now." And then his girlfriend's like, "No, we haven't talked about this at all."
Even then, though, I listened to Therapy twice, or probably more than that, honestly. And then I went back and watched the scene that it was from. And the parts where they stop singing and it just cuts to the polka and it's just them actually in a real relationship argument is so it's fourth wall. It's not it's reality breaking. It's just this doesn't fit. It never clicks and it never fits for me. I did not like that scene.
I mean,
at all.
I can
and I think
understand
the rest of
that.
the movie was really not confusing. The pacing was weird. I didn't
have a problem
heck,
with the pacing.
I didn't even know half the time what was if we're looking at Jonathan Larson or this guy playing Jonathan Larson who is Jonathan Larson but is actually not Jonathan Larson but was in the context of the movie Jonathan Larson.
No, it was all Jonathan Larson.
Everything I just said there is how my brain was working.
I can
That's
see,
what that
I can
movie
see where
did
you're
to
coming
me.
from.
Tell me Sunday was good.
I can't.
That's what I thought.
That is why it's at number 6.
Fair enough.
But no, I adored this movie aside from Sunday.
Mhm.
I thought Lin-Manuel Miranda, did
Stop.
such a great
I'm gonna
job.
walk out before number 1, bro.
Did such a you're gonna like number 1.
I better.
Did such a great job with this. It was his directorial debut for a feature film,
Mm-hmm.
and I really loved this movie. So yeah, that's at my number 6.
Awesome. I'm gonna speed up the descriptions a little bit. I don't think we're running low on time.
Oh no. If
Um,
anything, we have time to spare.
All right. My number 5 is Spiral. It came out this year, right?
The Saw movie?
Yes, I believe it
Oh.
did.
Yeah, no, it came out this year.
Spiral, I believe, is the 9th film.
Yeah.
I believe because it's Saw 7 exists, then it's Jigsaw, then Spiral. And
Yeah.
Spiral, like Jigsaw, is one of those weird standalone movies where it exists in the universe, but it's not directed to the saga. It's I don't know. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it. And it's not super high up. It's number 5 for me, but it is just a really, really good detective flick. There's a murderer guy. There's this trickster, Jigsaw, doing Jigsaw things, and he's Chris Rock, who produced it,
He did, yeah.
is trying to track him down, and it's just it's not a good Saw movie. It admittedly doesn't have many traps or it's not super green or blue.
I saw a good amount of traps whenever I just came in when I worked at the theater in Ushed.
It was what they feature, I think, was really good. But at the same time, I think it lacked the true gruesomeness of Saw, but the traps that they did have were all super duper good. The plot and the writing, I think the writing was phenomenal.
Really?
I think it was every cat and chase Saw movie is such a oh, wow, I wonder who's gonna get out of this one.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's and it's just twist after twist after twist. And this one I felt just did a natural way of telling that story without being obnoxious and just like a gory mess for fun.
Wow. I mean, I will say I haven't seen this movie,
Mm-hmm.
but I have only heard bad things.
Really?
Yeah, so I
wonder what it's
I'm kind
rated.
of surprised.
I'm gonna check. I really, really liked it whenever I saw it. 1 second.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to check it out because I think on Rotten Tomatoes it's in the teens or in the 20s for its rating.
Do you want to guess a final Rotten Tomatoes for Spiral?
17%.
37.
Okay, that is higher. That's a lot higher.
I don't know if that's audience or
But that is very
Google
bad.
users 77% liked it. So that's fair.
Yeah, but I have only heard not even bad things, horrible things
Mhm.
about this movie. So
Yeah.
I'm very surprised that it's on your list and that high.
Yeah.
I might have to check it out.
I'm surprised people didn't like
Mhm.
it. I'm curious what I'm missing.
I have only heard that it has bad writing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is.
Well,
an
if
interesting
that
take,
shows
to
you
say the
anything
least.
about my taste.
I mean, I'm not saying
No.
anything. I haven't even seen
No,
it.
you're
Yeah.
good. Number 5.
Okay. Number 5 for me. I believe it's on HBO Max right now. If not, it'll be there soon. King Richard.
Oh,
This,
okay.
Yes, this is the story of Richard Williams, who is
Mhm.
the father of Venus and Serena Williams, and him just kind of leading his daughters on the path to superstardom. Admittedly, it is a little weird seeing that it is about the dad and not about the
Yeah.
siblings. But I thought, by the way, Will Smith is in this, and he is so good
Mhm.
in it. But I thought the story was really well told. I thought the writing was good. It's another one of those 2.5 hour movies. I kind of felt the length, but at other times it just didn't matter because I was really engrossed in the story.
Fair enough.
I thought the performances were all good, especially those the two sisters. They're
Mm.
so good in this movie. Will Smith is great. His wife, I'm blanking on her name, but
Mhm.
she's great. Their eventual tennis coach,
Cool.
is great too. They're all great, honestly. I really liked this movie. I
Mhm.
want to see it again.
That was definitely one of the movies I wanted to see, but just couldn't stomach time to cut out of like my schedule during
Oh,
school
yeah.
for it.
And I used to play tennis in high school.
Nice.
I mean, it was only for like a year, and then COVID happened.
Fair enough.
But
though.
then I would just
Yeah.
watch and be like, "Hey, I remember that. That's out of
And
bounds."
one of my favorite
hey."
sports is badminton, so
Oh yeah,
like
they're similar.
exactly. It's
But-
similar enough.
Yeah, King Richard was so good. It might be on HBO Max now. If it is, go
Awesome.
check it out.
All right. Number 4 for me is West Side Story, the
Oh,
Steven
wow,
Spielberg
okay.
remake.
Remix.
Yeah. I get it. Anyways, I really liked it. Like, obviously, most of these I would hope I'd like if they're on my top 10. I'd never seen the original West Side Story, and I feel like I'm going to keep it that way because I still just don't think I could deal with the 60s movie, like, vibe the entire time, just trying to get through it. But this was
Yeah.
just really good. It was one of the musicals where you have singers performing. I feel like the only real like Hollywood face you could pick out was
Ansel
Ansel
Elgort.
Ansel Elgort.
Yes.
And even then, he was really good. I liked it. It was fun.
It was. Yeah, it was very good. I'll have more to say about that later.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
For my number
Really?
4, yes.
Okay.
My number 4 is a movie that came out, I think, back in February, but it has just stuck with me. And
Mhm.
so I haven't seen it since, but it's so good. And that is Judas and the Black Messiah. And this
Not heard of
takes
it.
place, I think, in the 70s or 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the assassination of. Sorry, it's been a while since I've seen that. I'll have to look it up.
You're good.
But the leader of the Black Panther Party. And it's like this kind of crime film
Mm-hmm.
where this guy is recruited by, I think, the CIA to assassinate this guy.
Okay.
But then they become kind of friends and companions, and then he doesn't want to do it because he sees what's going on.
Gotcha.
And the film had me on like the edge of my seat the entire time, or I guess couch since I watched it at home.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't really have a lot to say just because it has been a while, but this movie is so good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed watching it. Daniel Kaluuya is in it, who was in he was in Get Out, he was in
Cool.
Black Panther,
Oh, okay.
And-
I think I
yeah.
know who you're talking about.
and Lakeith Stanfield
Mm-hmm.
plays the guy who is hired to assassinate him.
Awesome.
And it is such a good movie. I don't really know what else to say.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want to give anything away.
Right.
And it's been a
Do you
while.
know where did you watch it in? Well, you can't watch it in theaters. It was February.
No, I watched it on HBO Max.
Okay.
It was part of their
Gotcha.
movies and theaters on HBO Max kind of thing.
Okay. Top 3.
Yes.
Number 3 for me. That's where I put Dune.
Oh, okay.
Dune is like I had medium expectations for it. I assumed it was going to be this big blockbuster like space film, and it like blew me out of the water for me personally. I really enjoyed it. I'm very repetitive with saying that today.
Yeah, I keep saying things are great, so
Yeah. But it's the scale of it was my probably favorite part. It felt like it gave me George Lucas vibes, admittedly, which I'm biased towards, where it's this huge world that you don't have to sit there and learn, and it's being taught as you experience it.
yeah, I think I just need to watch it again
Mhm.
because the length got to me, especially when we
Fair
saw
enough.
it so late at night,
Yeah.
and I had a headache,
Mm-hmm.
and so that didn't really help. But it is a really good movie.
Mm-hmm. I'm super duper excited for the second part. I feel like it's set up like a better half where we already have the characters that we do, and where it's going in such a good path. Maybe we'll get more than 10 minutes of Zendaya, but who am I to judge?
Yeah, who knows? I'm excited for the second one though.
Yeah.
I think it'll be really good.
For real. That was it. That was me for Dune. We already talked about it enough. I don't think I need to.
My number 2 and my number 1, I keep going back and forth on.
Okay.
Just
You
because I
skipping
think.
3? Are you trying to make a final?
Oh, my
decision?
number 3. Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry,
okay.
I was on number 2. My number 3,
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Okay.
I absolutely adored this
Yes.
movie. I've seen it 3 times now. And every time it just keeps getting better. I keep noticing more and more.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the story was very well told. The action sequences were so good.
Mm-hmm.
It sets out to do something and it exceeds it.
Yes.
And that's why it's at my number 3.
Mhm.
It is so good.
Yeah.
You can hear all our thoughts about it in our review.
Absolutely. My number 2 is Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Oh!
I felt like it didn't quite deserve the number 1 spot personally. If you watch Spider-Man: No Way Home and it's your first movie ever, not implying that you're a child, but implying you're an adult and you've never seen a Spider-Man film or an MCU film, you're gonna you might enjoy it, but you're not gonna get much.
Yeah.
lot
I
of
guess that
the-
does hold it back a little bit.
A lot of the content and the true enjoyment that I got out of that was that, without saying much, that kind of enjoyment you get from knowing everything about Spider-Man and the MCU
Yeah.
and everything that encapsulates.
Yeah, because
it.
you have these past villains that come back,
Exactly.
and it really helps to know who they are going
Right.
in. But I think they do a good enough job for if you've never seen any Spider-Man film to catch you
Right.
up on what's going on and who these people are.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that was their biggest weight is to carry is that they couldn't make it a standalone film.
Yeah,
However, with MCU, you don't really have
yeah.
to worry
No
about
MCU film is standalone now.
that. But it was great. I had a grin on my face the entire time. It probably
Yeah.
got the highest score of the for me this entire year. But there's still one movie that sits above it,
Mhm.
which is I don't know if you'll agree with it or not.
Okay.
There's a one-off, but we'll see.
So my number 2
Mm-hmm.
is West Side Story.
Really? I thought it was gonna be bad. I thought you were gonna have it on your top 10
Really?
bad. I was like, that's what I thought. You were like, we're gonna hear about that later.
Oh no.
Okay.
No. When we
Okay,
reviewed
I'm
it,
glad-
I gave
I'm
it like
glad
a
it's high
9.5.
Okay.
No, I love this movie. This is this is my number 1. I kept going back and forth on.
At least it's got higher than
Because-
Tick Tick Boom.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I loved the performances. It was
Mhm.
so energetic just being in that theater and watching it. Like you, I haven't seen the original,
Yeah.
but I thought Steven Spielberg did such a great job watching it. He's my favorite director. I know
Mhm.
that's the basic answer, but it's true.
Yeah.
He is so good directing this. All the performances are good, especially Rachel Ziegler.
Mhm.
I
For real.
love her in this movie. I can't wait to see her next films.
Mm-hmm. She's she blew up.
She did.
now, and this was her first on-screen performance, and now it's just completely going off the rails, and it's amazing.
It
I'm
is.
very excited to see what she does.
Yeah, I thought this movie was so good. We kind of differed on the ending. I still liked it, but I thought all in all, this was such a good movie.
Yeah, really enjoyable and just like a good, like the musical. I would say to go and watch if you're like if an alien shows up on our planet and is like show us like what your civilization thinks of a musical. West Side Story
Mamma
comes to
Mia
mind first. That's a plot of another musical.
It is
Like actually.
Oh.
Or do you know Star Kid?
I don't know.
For our viewers out there who may or may not know Star Kid, they are a little out west production company who do their musicals online for YouTube. They're all free. They're all
are they
watched.
the people who did like Harry Potter?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
One of their more recent. Well, I guess probably like 2016. I guess now. That's not true at all. It's like 2018. Anyways, it doesn't matter. It's the music I'm referencing is The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals is the name of it.
I've seen clips of that. Yeah.
And it's a meteor crashes into a theater playing Mamma Mia. But that's and then
That's cool.
a lot more stuff happens. But it's really, really, really fun, and I very much recommend anybody who has free time go and watch it because it was great.
You're number one.
Oh yeah. Okay, here we are. My number one spot.
Drum roll, please.
That's probably gonna like vibrate
Yeah.
the mic. My number one is Last Night in Soho.
Oh,
I really, really, really
okay.
liked it. It visually was like the most creative spectacle.
It really is.
I could,
yeah.
The amount of planning and like just perspective. I feel like forced perspective stuff is my favorite. And there's a lot of that and a lot of just like it's such a visual story. And it's I don't know. I got lost in it whenever I watched it. I had just finished a 12-hour shift and I saw a 10 p.m. showing. And it was just like enchanting.
Yeah.
I feel like is the best.
There
word
were
for
some
it.
things that held me back for it, obviously. But
I don't think it was advertised as a horror movie. I didn't know it was going to be a horror movie.
Everything I saw for it was Edgar Wright's new horror movie.
I had no idea.
Oh.
So I have the
and
opposite.
expectations are really everything going into the movie.
I have the opposite opinion of you, where it's like I went in not expecting a horror movie, got one, and was happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it
I was still happy with it. I just one maybe a little bit more, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's fair.
I still loved this movie.
Yeah.
All these movies on my list I love.
Mm-hmm. But that sits very firmly number one. It is of all the movies I have here and all the movies I've seen, I would watch this again first.
Okay.
Just because I really like looking at it. But now time for Anthony's number one. That's
Okay.
it for your drum roll.
This is going to get probably you and a lot of our audience against me. My number one.
Venom 2.
Let there be carnage. No. Dear Evan Hansen. I love this movie. I also watched this like Spider-Man 3 times. I love the songs. I love the themes. It didn't hit for a lot of people. It hit for me. I see their problems. I acknowledge it. I still love this movie. Going on.
At least
on.
least you're like Evan and you know you're the villain. That's awful. That movie does
Clifford on your list.
Yeah, that was a joke, kind of.
No, it wasn't.
Maybe.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, but Clifford. Ben
I don't
Platt
see Clifford
has,
waving through a window.
Ben Platt. You shut your mouth. Ben Platt has. He has justice being up top, but not for that movie. Like that movie should not be near your top 3.
I know.
It shouldn't be on your top 10 list.
Honestly, I am kind of doing this to spite you.
I'm sure you are. It's working. You are going to. Oh my goodness.
I Clifforded you.
I dressed up as Evan Hansen for Halloween.
You did.
And you know what? It was funny.
I got you to watch the stage musical, and you cried.
No, I didn't. Maybe. Because the music.
You didn't want to watch the
Honestly,
second act.
the musical's, like, it's good, and I like the songs. I don't think I like the actual story itself, personally.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just doesn't, like... I don't know.
It hit
Watch
for me.
if you're gonna watch Evan Hansen, watch Act 1 and then stop. That's
I
what
will
I
say,
tried to do.
watch the stage musical instead. It's much better than this.
I don't know, but
But-
at the same time, okay. for purposes of escalation, I'm gonna start at my top 10 worst films of
Yes,
2021.
okay, let's do that.
My number 10 spot is Dear Evan Hansen. Anyways, continuing on, I think it wasn't a necessarily bad film, but my God, it's Evan Hansen. Things it did good. The ending was better.
It was a lot better.
The musical. Well, I guess we can't talk.
I think we can talk about it.
Spoilers for Dear Evan Hansen, if you care.
This was going to be our first episode for anyone who knows.
It was supposed to be. It
because
would
we
have
do
been a
have
good
conflicting
episode.
views.
The ending is a lot better in the movie because Evan actually takes responsibility for his actions.
He does.
Ish. But the consequences of his actions are way less severe in the movie. Everything ends up not being his fault. He's just kind of going along with the ride. The musical, he's an actual menace. He is a terrible actual person. And nothing happens. No, he doesn't. He just kind of sits on his little orchard and he goes about his life. In the movie, there's like the ending's really sweet. The song they add and like the video and all of that, that's great. That's awesome. I thought they actually made the ending better, but it doesn't change the fact that not as much like if he didn't do anything and he didn't take like blame and say like I did this, then he wouldn't have had like people wouldn't have hated him as much as they do in the musical.
I feel like
because he didn't tell anybody.
I feel like the only people who like this musical are the people who went to my high school.
That's not true.
No, that is not
I'm
true.
sorry.
Are the people who went to my high school because we all loved it. And like the musical, when the movie came out, we obviously I wasn't in high school at that point.
Yeah.
But we all gathered around and watched the trailer for it. We all loved it. So I feel like it's like my high school thing.
Got rid of To Break in a Glove.
So I didn't like that, but
And added
they had a
Anonymous
substitute
one.
for it.
They got rid of Disappear.
Yeah. But moving on.
Also,
Oh my
Disappear is the movie or the part of the song that plants the ideas in Evan's head that he can manipulate everybody. But no, let's get rid of that and give it to Alana as an anonymous one.
You see, I liked anonymous ones
I did
better.
than Disappear.
No.
I'm about
Let
to
me
spike the
Let me
mic, bro.
finish.
I'm gonna
In
spike the
terms of
mic.
the story.
Turn down your volume.
In terms
Don't
of the
act, I'm
story,
okay.
Because it's kind of the push that gives Evan to be like, oh, this could help people. Where I don't like the song per se, like as opposed to Disappear. I think Disappear is a much better song, but in Disappear, like you said, it kind of causes him to be like, oh, I can manipulate people.
Yeah, they're making Evan a good
The anonymous
person.
ones has Evan be like, oh, I can help people.
I don't like that.
But I have a whole analysis of this movie. Won't go
If
into
they were
it.
gonna make a
My
Dear Evan
number,
Hansen
my number
movie,
10.
Okay.
My number 10.
We have like a lot of
Yeah,
lists, and
we don't have
taken a
much
long
time left. We have to move on. I'm
Okay.
so sorry. Oh yeah,
should have had
honorable
an
mentions.
episode. Okay.
What's your honorable mentions for your
Right.
rest?
I didn't include the three big ones were Respect, Ghostbusters, and Eternals.
Okay.
Eternals and Ghostbusters, I feel like deservedly sat beneath 10. They were good, but like not year of the or film of the year kind of
Yeah.
deals. Respect, I could have fit in, but I needed Clifford.
No.
So
No.
Respect gets honorary 10th place.
Okay.
Probably better than Shang-Chi.
No.
I don't know.
No. Stop that. Clifford is not better than Shang-Chi.
Okay.
Okay.
What's
so
your
my
number 10?
honorable mentions.
Oh,
I have.
oh my God.
Or I guess dishonorable mentions.
We have
I
17
have
minutes, Anthony.
We can go over. There's no one after us.
Okay.
I have Escape Room.
I do
2.
have stuff to do after this, though.
I mean,
so.
I do too. So it's,
Let's let's try and end at 5.
Yeah. I have Escape Room 2, Halloween Kills, and
Is this for best year of the film?
worst?
Or best...
For worst.
Oh, worst.
This is for
Okay.
worst. And The Boss Baby 2, Back in Business, or Family Bit, whatever it is. So my number 10 is Nightmare Alley, which really pains me to put it on here, just because I was really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And it was just disappointing.
Yeah.
It's not even per se like a horrible film, but it just really went in a path that I did not want it to go in, and it suffered because of it.
Yeah. If you want to hear more, we talked about Nightmare Alley on the end of our Spider-Man episode.
Yeah.
So you can check that out there.
Yeah.
To move on. Sorry to like.
Oh yeah, no, we have to move on.
Number 9, worst film of the year. I put Boss Baby Family Business.
There you go.
I struggled to put this on this list. I really liked Boss Baby Family. I really like the Boss Baby movies.
Honestly, I laughed a lot during it.
They're really good. Like, the Boss Baby's funny, bro.
I watched this movie in 3D.
Nice.
But no, the 3D wasn't working.
No.
I was working at the theater at that point.
Uh-huh.
So I went into the office where they were and said,
Uh-huh.
"Hey, can you fix it?" And they said no.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
So it was blurry the
I don't-
entire time.
I don't think it was good. There's like a really, really big flaw that I can't super talk. This movie came out a long time ago, right?
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
It's the Boss Baby.
Without super getting into it, there is an Electra complex hinted at, which is the opposite of an Oedipus complex, which is terrifying. The dad becomes his kid form again, runs into his daughter at school, and they become friends. And then there's a whole part where they sing a song together in his daughter's bedroom. And this would be a really good dad and daughter moment if she knew it was her dad. She doesn't. She probably had a crush on him, bro, which is super uncomfortable.
She's a baby.
She is a second grader.
She's a toddler, whatever.
She's a second grader. Did you see she was supposed to be the super intelligent person, which is what they display.
Yeah.
She clearly knew what she was. I don't know. It was super uncomfortable. That
you might
part
be looking
sucked.
into it.
I don't know, man. Like, I watched it with 2 other my friends, and they were all picking up on it too.
Yeah.
And it was a mess.
So that was your number 9?
That was my number 9.
Okay. My number 9 is Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City.
I've not watched this.
This movie is so bad.
Yeah.
Like, it does some stuff right. Like, it's accurate to some of the games, but it meshes it crams in too much stuff
Yeah.
to the point where it just becomes, like, incompetent.
That's a video game movie.
And
Except for
it's so...
Sonic.
There's a scene with a guy who he's in a cell with a zombie,
Mhm.
and he knows that these guys are zombies and they're going to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
He makes Leon, who is so dumb in this movie for no reason. He's not supposed to be dumb. But anyway,
Yeah.
he makes Leon give him his gun. And instead of shooting the zombie who is getting up, he points it at Leon and says, "Open the cell. Hurry. This guy is getting up and it's about to kill me." And he has the gun on him. And he just lets the zombie kill him.
That's epic.
It is so bad.
My number 8 spot is Willy's Wonderland. Another painful spot. I really enjoyed it, but I understand that it was not a good film.
I kind of enjoyed it too. It didn't make it to my list just because I had a good time
Not
watching
even
it.
in your 22 honorable mentions?
No.
Okay. But yeah, I would say stuff about that film, but I feel like that would be out of character.
Okay. My number 8 is The Little Things. It
don't
is
recognize
with Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto.
Okay.
Like with Nightmare Alley, this was just a big disappointment. All in all,
Gotcha.
it's like a murder mystery kind of thing where they think Jared Leto is the killer,
Mhm.
and you never know if he
Yeah.
is or not. They just leave it open ended. Weird writing. It was disappointing. Anyway,
Yeah. My number 7 was Free Guy.
no.
I didn't like
this
it.
movie was
And
good.
It is my fault completely. My expectation. I waited like a week and a half maybe to see it. Everybody saw it before me. Everybody loved it. They were raving about it. My expectations were through the roof, and it disappointed me.
See, whenever that happens, I'm always like, "Oh, people are saying it's amazing," and I just try to tell myself it's gonna suck. So I
I should have done that. I gave in. I thought it was gonna be like one of the first movies that parodies a video game but well.
Mhm.
And it didn't, or it did, but not to my standard. I got the there's a scene at the end that's really cool, and I got that spoiled for me.
Oh,
with
okay.
The, you know,
That was an amazing scene.
it was, and I got that spoiled for me. So the only cool part, the only barely fan servicey moment that I would have liked, it was an unfortunate movie screening for me. But that's it. That was my number.
I love that movie. That is in my top 20.
I'm sure it is.
Okay, so my number 7 is a movie called Zola.
Okay.
And I don't even know if I can tell you what this is about. It was
you have
just-
10 words.
It was weird.
Okay.
It was a lot of nothing. And it was bad.
Okay. Nice. My number 6 is Candyman.
Wow. Okay. I really enjoyed that movie.
I didn't. I don't have any real memories of it. I really don't. I just don't, I remember not liking it, and I can't elaborate further because I don't know why. I don't think it was like scary. I feel like none of the beats really landed, and also Candyman's silly. In terms of like the kills, like it's weird.
Yeah, I will say the scene with the flashback with him just crawling out the wall, that was a little silly.
Yeah,
But I like that movie.
Mm-hmm.
My number 6 is Space Jam 2: A New Legacy.
I never saw that
This
movie.
movie
That
was
should have been low.
it was so bad.
Yeah.
It was so bad. Moving on. There's nothing much to say about that
Yeah,
movie.
just
It was a
don't.
movie.
Yeah, it was Space Jam 2. My number 5 is Tick Tick Boom.
No.
This movie
no,
sucked.
No.
This movie sucked. This
No.
movie sucked.
No, you're wrong.
It was really not good. The
Moving
movie sucked.
on.
Okay.
My number
Hold me
5
back.
was F9
Okay.
with Vin Diesel and his family.
Cool.
This movie was so bad. They go to space. It was so bad.
Uh-huh.
It was. I can't even get over how stupid this movie is.
That's rough. We're
And John Cena
Join
is
us
somehow his
next-
brother.
next season. Okay. Join us next season when we watch every Fast and Furious movie and review it
Yes.
in a 1 hour gap.
We just have like, I guess 5 minutes for each movie.
Barely. My number 4. This is probably the most obscure movie I have on here. It's called Wrong Turn.
Oh, I've heard of this. I haven't seen it.
It's a horror movie. It's like it has a really interesting idea, that they just execute really, really poorly, and like the movie ends on like a note where you're like, okay, this is the climax of the film, or like every single time the movie you feel it's about to end, it keeps going, and then right when it's like getting interesting, credits.
Oh, I hate that.
And it wasn't like I don't remember it being scary. It's one of the only movies I didn't see at the movie theater I always go to.
Yeah.
And the experience of seeing it was bad for that reason. But the movie itself was also just like I don't know. It's apparently like it's not a sequel, but it's a recreation of multiple films in one or something. I didn't do my research for
That's
that
weird.
one, but it was weird.
Yeah. My number 4 is the M. Night Shyamalan movie Old.
Okay.
I do not like this movie.
It's not
The
good.
first time I watched it, I was like, it's laughably funny, like bad.
Mm-hmm.
Second time I
Bro,
watched
you
it,
broke it with
I
the shell.
hated it.
You
What?
remember that? What's the
Oh, the kid
one?
with the shells.
Yes.
The kid is so obsessed with the shells. It's so weird. M. Night Shyamalan just forces himself to be almost a leading role.
Yeah.
This is such a bad movie. Do not watch it.
It's quite terrible.
And with the minivan guy, what was his name? Midsize sedan.
Oh my god! Oh, the
And
minivan guy. I was like, who drives a minivan?
His name is Midsize Sedan.
Damn.
That's his one line.
That's all he
just
says.
keeps saying it. Oh, I hated this movie.
It was
This
really,
movie was
really
so
bad.
bad.
My number 3 spot is Malignant.
Oh yeah,
That
this movie was out there.
yes, it was. I hate movies or horror movies that try and give like a scientific explanation to a paranormal
Yeah.
like happening, and this one like full on face plant into concrete trying to do it. It makes no sense. There's no like it's like superpowers, but it's like no, this is science. But it's like
I
oh my
think
God.
the only like thing that got me from it was like I watched it with like a group of friends, and we all kind of pegged what was going to happen, and then we got it, but then there was another twist that none of us saw coming, and it was kind of like Fight Club,
right,
and it came out of nowhere, and then it just lost its absolute mind.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of the only reason it's not on my list, just because I'm like, you went for it, and hey, I salute you.
yeah, exactly. Anyways,
Okay, so my top 3, I call the holy trinity of horrible children's remakes, sequels.
I think I know what one
whatever.
of these is gonna be.
My number 3 is Clifford the Big Red Dog.
No, that's not what I thought it was gonna be.
It is so bad.
It doesn't
I
deserve to be
hated
that
this
low.
movie. No, it does. This movie is awful.
Maybe.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Old.
Yeah. I
It's
do
just-
not blame
we've
you
said
for that.
enough. It's don't watch it. It's
Just
such a
don't
waste.
watch it.
It is you age faster than the people on the beach when you're watching it. So don't do
do.
that. Your
Okay.
number 2?
Tom and Jerry. Oh my god. At the beginning of this year,
mhm.
because we had almost a year of no
Oh, I never watched
new
that. I
movies.
forgot that came out.
Yeah, I made a vow to myself that I'm going to watch all of the new like Warner Brothers movies on HBO Max just
Mhm.
because they're new movies and I love to watch new movies.
Yeah.
I watched Tom and Jerry and I changed my mind.
That's
I-
fair.
This movie is so bad. The
Mhm.
writing is horrible. They just recycle jokes from
Mhm.
past shorts, which I mean, I guess that's fine. But Colin Jost is in this movie for some reason, like
Mhm.
no reason at all. He just wants a paycheck.
Yeah, that's
Do not
it
watch
is what
this.
it is. Number 1. I have a feeling I know what your
I
number
think
1
we have
is.
the
Do you want to
same
say it
one.
at the same time?
3,
It'll be 3, 2, 1.
2. Okay.
Bam, okay.
3, 2, 1.
Home
Home
Sweet
Sweet
Home
Home Alone.
What an absolute
my
dumpster
God.
fire of a movie.
This movie is so bad.
I watched it. He expressed this anguish to me, and I was like, it can't be like they can't actually do the things he told me about. They do. They completely do.
This made me so mad.
It deservedly.
Yeah.
It was such a absolute mess. There was, and honestly, a disgrace to Home Alone. If like, oh my god, it shouldn't exist. It does though. It's free on Disney Plus, which honestly is too much to pay for it. If you can, never watch this movie. It is a waste of time. It has some good people in it. The cast is all right, but the
Yeah.
performances, it's not their fault.
Kenan Thompson is in 2 of my top 3 worst movies. That guy needs a break.
Is that Clifford?
It was saying Clifford,
okay.
yeah.
I
And then
forgot about that.
Rob Delaney is in Home Sweet Home Alone and Tom and Jerry.
I feel bad for them.
These are so bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, we have about 4 minutes left.
True.
So
We gotta
let's
run through our
rush
top 10.
our
All right.
anticipated.
My number 10 is Uncharted. I'm just
Okay.
not excited.
Really?
I
mean,
like if you watch it out, if you don't know the games, go for it. But the casting sucks. That's all.
yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
think
say.
it'll get better
I
once you
hope so.
watch it. My number 10 is Lightyear,
Okay,
the new Buzz Lightyear movie.
gotcha.
I'm so excited for this.
My number 9 is Morbius. I don't
Okay.
care to see Jared Leto on screen, but this
So
is the
you-
only movie coming
You're
out.
not really looking forward to that many movies this year, I guess.
Not particularly.
My number 9 is Creed 3. I
Okay.
love the first 2 Creeds. I love Rocky, and Michael B. Jordan is like directing this.
Cool.
And I think it's gonna be great.
My number 8 is Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh,
I pretty much I have a handful of Marvel movies on here, and this is probably not the least of them, or at least of the confirmed ones that we know
Okay.
the title of and all that. But it should be fun if it's
Oh,
Taika
yeah.
Waititi again, so
it's gonna be good.
it should be a good time.
Ragnarok didn't really hit with me as much as
That's right.
it did for a lot of people, but I still loved it. So
Yeah.
I'm still really looking forward to that.
Mhm.
My number 8 is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
I forgot that was coming
that
out.
is-
That shit is so been
yes,
on my list.
That
I
is
couldn't find
the
that.
new Nick Cage movie coming out.
Mhm.
I am so looking forward to it. I think it looks so good.
Awesome. My number 7 is Lightyear. Same
Okay.
reason. It just looks fun.
And it's Pixar. Pixar
Right.
is amazing. My number 7 is going to be, what is it? Okay, The Gray Man. It is
Okay.
a new movie directed by the Russo brothers,
Okay.
and it stars Chris Evans, Ana de Armas, Jessica Hartwick,
This is
Henwick, Billy Bob
Knives Out?
Thornton, Ryan Gosling.
Okay.
I'm so excited for this.
Number 6 for me is The Northman. I believe it is a.
Oh yeah.
I don't know too much about it. It has one of the Skarsgårds in it.
Mhm.
It's like a Viking kind
Yeah.
of film. It looks fun.
The only reason it's not on my list is I'm very excited for it, but Robert Eggers, I just haven't seen his other movies,
Mhm.
and I'm kind of scared to,
Fair enough.
just because The Witch,
Mhm.
like I hear it's psychologically like really scary, and The Lighthouse, I just haven't seen that one. I want to watch it, but I'm really looking forward to that.
Gotcha.
My number 6 is Babylon,
Okay.
which it is from Damien Chazelle, who did La La Land and
Oh,
First
okay.
Man. And just
Gotcha.
based on that alone, I am looking forward to this a lot.
My number 5 is Turning Red. Another. I think that's Pixar. Is it? I think it is.
It is. It is.
Okay. Pixar can't go wrong. I think it's going to be a fun, just a happy film. Another happy Pixar film.
Okay.
And I like red pandas.
My number 5, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1.
Okay.
I loved Into the Spider-Verse, so
Yeah,
I am
for real.
looking forward to this movie so much. I think it's going to be so good.
My number 4 is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I genuinely enjoyed the first film.
I did too.
It's way too good than it should have been, and I
Yeah.
loved it.
I couldn't put it on my list, but I'm really looking forward to that.
The second one's gonna be
My
great.
number
You got-
4 is Knives Out 2.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm-
Is that coming out this year?
Yeah. It's going to be
Ooh.
on Netflix.
Another Chris Evans or
He's not going to be in it. No, it's
True,
going to be
like a
completely
different story.
different cast.
I forgot about that. Okay. My number 3 is the new Doctor Strange movie. Doctor Strange is
Yes.
one of my favorites, and it's about time. A whole Spider-Man trilogy has come out since he's got his first solo movie, so
Yeah.
it's about time.
My number 3 is Killers of the Flower Moon. It's with Leonardo DiCaprio, directed by Martin Scorsese.
Ooh.
So that's going to be good.
My number 2, I've never been a DC guy, but the Batman, I'm very excited for.
That is also my number 2.
Ooh, that's convenient then. I think it's just gonna be a good flick. I like the darks,
Yeah,
kinda
I'm looking
feel.
forward to this movie so much. I think it's going to be thrilling and action-packed.
Yeah.
What's your number 1?
My number 1 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1.
Ooh.
I'm very excited. The first one blew me away. Everything about it. It's into the Spider-Verse, but another one. What is there not to like? If you've not seen this, go watch it.
Mhm.
I know the animation isn't for everyone. My dad doesn't like it for that reason, but that's okay.
Yeah.
If you're into that stuff, if you're into comic books or Spider-Man, go watch it. It's a good time. And this one's going to be too.
My number 1, it doesn't even have a title. When I look it up, it says Untitled David O. Russell film. David O. Russell, he directed Silver Linings Playbook, which is one of my favorite movies.
Mhm.
So based on that alone, I am already excited. But also,
Is there a
Anya
description?
Taylor-Joy, Margot Robbie, no description.
It's just a
Christian
mo-
Bale, Rami Malek,
Your
Zoe
number one
Saldana,
movie
Robert
is
De
a-
Niro, Timothy Olyphant, Michael Shannon, Mike Myers. We are getting
guess.
Austin Powers in a new movie.
Or
I
the
am
cat in
John
the
David
hat.
Washington, Taylor Swift, Chris Rock. This movie is going to be amazing. And you
can't-
cannot tell me otherwise.
I can tell you I don't know what it is, and you don't either.
I mean,
but
okay, I see some set photos. It looks like it's a period piece. Period pieces are cool. I don't know.
okay, Anthony.
I don't know. I just saw that last
I
night
like
and
that your
I-
most anticipated film doesn't have a name or description yet, and you have no idea what it's about. But okay, sure.
Also, The Fablemans. I completely forgot to put that on my list. Steven Spielberg. It's like autobiographical. It's going to be
Mhm.
great.
That's it.
Yeah,
that is our
that
top
is
10 list.
our
These will be
episode.
published on our Instagram
And
at.
it will. That's a wrap NCR. I thought you wanted time. I was like,
no,
anytime.
But that's it. Thank you for joining us for the Bridge
Yes.
episode. It ran a little longer than I thought it would, honestly. But
Yeah.
I guess that's what you get for
Um,
going through 30 movies.
Next week, we'll be reviewing either The Matrix
Oh, yeah.
Resurrections
It's our
or
catch-up.
The King's Man.
True.
Which one? We might review both. Who knows?
Possibly. If
But-
we do Matrix, I'll have to watch
Yeah.
all of them.
Me
So.
too. So,
Dang.
or we
Sing
can do
2.
355. No one
Sing
voted for Sing 2.
Nobody did?
No one.
Was it like a tied for.
No, it was 2 for Matrix, 1 for King's Man.
Okay. Nobody,
We didn't have many votes.
Nobody for Sing, huh?
But yeah, or the 355 since
Alright,
that's a new
everybody.
movie. But
Yeah.
anyway, so catch us
Um,
next time.
Yeah, that's all for this episode, and.
That's a wrap.